Folks, what a time to be in the stock market. We have a lot to get into in today's video, folks. What a time to be in the stock market. I just got to say this before we get into this. This is maybe the most enjoyable time for me in the stock market in quite some time. And the reason it's so enjoyable is you have so many divergences in the market. You have so many good things and bad things, and good things and bad things, and so many numbers to go through and sift through, and trying to tell where the future are with different companies in different industries. And I haven't seen it like this in a long time, to be quite honest. And the only thing that's a shame about it is the retail community is not really participating at all in this market right now. And that makes me sad because there's so much money being made in this market right now. I mean, this year alone, the amount of money I've increased my net worth this year is ridiculous. And unfortunately, there's so many opportunities in the market, and just retail's just not there this year. So congrats to all you guys that are participating in this market, learning, experiencing this market, and staying focused on those sorts of things, because I can tell you guys are going to be massively ahead of everybody that is not paying attention, is not going through this sort of market. You got to go through divergence markets. You can't just be in a market that everything looks great and every stock's at an all-time high. You've got to go through these different divergences in the market, and it's just a lot going on, folks. So I'm just having a ball. It's a lot of fun right now, and I appreciate everybody that's on this train with me, okay? Where I actually want to start with is Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers numbers just came out. By the way, I appreciate everybody subscribe to the channel. Thanks for being here, folks. Toll Brothers numbers just got reported about an hour ago or so, okay? These were very intriguing. This goes into the divergences that I'm talking about in the market, okay? Net income came in at a great number, $320 million. That's versus $220 million at the same time last year. Pre-tax income came in at $430 million versus $295 in the same quarter last year. Phenomenal numbers as far as that goes. Home sales revenue came in at $2.5 billion. That's up 14% compared with the same quarter the previous year. And that means a closed deal, actually, like everything was completed, okay? Now, here's where divergence happens. Net signed contracts came in with a value of $2.3 billion. That's down 26% on a year-over-year basis. Contracted homes were down 19% on a year-over-year basis. Backlog value decreased 28% compared to the same quarter last year. Homes in backlog decreased 36% on a year-over-year basis, right? And this is where you get this divergence. Gross margins came in better than expected. And so a lot of the numbers look definitely amazing for Toll Brothers. There's no debating that. Like Toll Brothers numbers in terms of what they're putting up here, revenue-wise, margin-wise, and net income-wise, are amazing. But, and this is a big but, okay, we have a major issue. And I mean a massive issue, okay? Check this out. This shows you units and dollar amounts by region in terms of new contracts coming through, okay? Look at this. This is for the 6 months ended April 30th, okay? The mountain region, which consists of, if I recall, the mountain region consists of Arizona, Las Vegas, Colorado, if I recall. Maybe New Mexico in there. I can't quite remember, okay? And so mountain region is down over 50%, folks. Over 50% in terms of units, right? That's incredible. Dollar amount down well over 50%. That's incredible. The Pacific region is also having a whole host of problems right now. Those numbers are down 50% and 50% roughly in terms of the Pacific region. So this goes to show you there's major weakness in the housing market in the mountain region, in the Pacific region specifically, folks. And this is where the housing market, the real estate market, is so confusing right now. And you even look at something like this. I saw this on CNBC. They were showing builder divergence, right? New home sales is the blue, right? Orange is existing home sales, and pending home sales is the green. And look at existing home sales. Pending home sales are still in a massively bad place, but new home sales, basically this entire year, has been pretty much ticking up and ticking up. So it's such a confusing real estate market. I don't put too much weight in anything in the real estate market right now, okay? I think it is one of those sorts of markets, if you really know what you're doing, you can participate in this sort of real estate market. But I think the folks that don't really know what they're doing, I don't think this is the market for you in terms of real estate market. And so, unless you're thinking about buying a property for the next 5, 10, 15 years, it's a different situation. But it's definitely a very confusing time. And I mean, even real estate experts that just spend all day, every day looking at real estate numbers have been wrong about a lot, to be honest. And I follow a lot of these folks, and a lot of them have been wrong about a lot of expectations in regards to the housing market. It's been a really intriguing market. And you look at the housing stocks going into today, these stocks sold off, which clearly shows you that there was worries. Everybody knew Toll Brother numbers are coming after the earnings, right? Or after the bell. So there was a little worry about what could happen here, and all those stocks sold off. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. As of right now, Toll Brother stock is up after hours. Disney alert here, folks. Disney just went under $90 a share, right? Now, there's a lot of crap going on with Disney right now, right? They got their streaming business that they're trying to really get to profitability, and that's obviously a massively hard thing to do. They're thinking about streaming ESPN as a full service, right? Which is something they got to consider. They have the DeSantis situation in Florida, which is a massive kind of news story that's going on right now, right? And plus, Bob Iger just took over the helm at Disney once again as CEO just, a few months ago now at this point in time. So you have a lot going on here with Disney, okay? So is Disney stock a buy, okay? What I will say is yes, it is a buy right now. This is the time to be a buyer of Disney stock. This next 6 to 9 months here, I don't think you're not going to get a time period for Disney where you're going to get more worries than right now, okay? This is, in my opinion, kind of the peak fear of all this crap. The DeSantis stuff in Florida, you got the streaming business question, you got Bob Iger coming back. You got so much going around Disney right now, right? Are they going to split off ESPN? What are the unit economics of that if that happens? How does it change their relationship with other partners? There's a million questions. And for a company like Disney that at the end of the day, like they're going to be as relevant 5 years from now as they are today, if not more relevant, right? Like they do their thing. These are the sorts of opportunities you got to take advantage of when there's a million questions and there's a lot of confusion. And that's where Disney's at right now. And so I just look at this next 6 to 9 months. If anybody's ever wanted to be a shareholder of this company, this is that time to be a buyer. Because I can tell you, these sorts of moments in these sorts of companies they don't just always come around. And to hope there's going to be a situation that's even worse for Disney is not very realistic in regards to that. It's always a crazy event could happen or something like that, but it's not super realistic. So I look at the next 6 to 9 months as being a great opportunity to buy a stock like Disney, okay? Palantir is probably the most interesting story in the entire stock market right now, in my opinion. This stock continues to soar and soar and soar, up another 6% plus here today. In the public count, we're up $3,800 on Palantir stock here today. The stock's climbed immensely, right? It's up 60% in a snap of fingers here in regards to Palantir, right? Continued buying pressure and buying pressure and buying pressure in regards to Palantir, and it's just unrelenting, and we'll speak about that in just a moment, right? And, we had probably the most amazing Palantir community, in my opinion, in the private stock group of anybody, okay? And this community is absolutely amazing, always sharing a lot of stuff, a lot of Palantir investors in there, always sharing their perspectives and opinions and things like that, and just keeping up with everything going on because there's always a lot going on with Palantir, right? And, this is just one thing from in there today, right? Palantir hasn't had an upgrade in over a year. So imagine what the stock looks like when these analysts start chasing the price, complete initiations of the stock and or upgrades, right? And I think that's a great point. That's an absolutely great point. No doubt about it, right? And that's all coming. Like the upgrade cycle, the price target rises, the initiations of Palantir stock, especially as they get closer and closer to the S&P 500. And then once they get there, the coverage from the analyst community, how many people are going to be talking about the stock? It's like a night and day difference from where the stock was a year ago versus where the stock will be a year from now, okay? So that's great news. This was just something funny I saw in there. One of the members said, I bought a new hat. The wealth effect is real with Palantir, man. Oh, gosh, that just got to make me laugh, okay? That's pretty funny stuff, right? And I got to say, man, some people got some big amounts of shares of Palantir. O-Man says, I didn't know O-Man owned this many shares. He says he owns 11,400 shares of Palantir. That's a holy smokers. This ain't no jokers. That's more shares than me at a cost base of 1030 in regards to that one, man. Woo-wee. And by the way, if you want to join, or apply to join my private group and get access to the Palantir chat and all the others, check out the description area. That will be for an application down there if that's something you want to join, and obviously learn everything up here, plus be part of our Discord community, which is unparalleled out there, especially in regards to Palantir, Tesla, and a few other stocks. Now, let me explain something very important about what's actually going on here with Palantir's stock price, okay? Because this is very important. Everybody understands this, right? First thing you got to understand is you got to take it back to the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, right? Obviously, that was a certain type of time period. Everybody was, it was to the moon, everything. There was so much free money sloshing around out there. It was like, it was tech bubble 2.0. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was, right? And Palantir obviously went 20, 30 plus dollars a share, right? And you had a ton of people buying in. It was a frenzy. Then you had the stock kind of take a breather for quite a while. And then as 2022 even it started at the end of 2021, right? But as 2021 ticked along and then 2022, you had an epic sellout of the stock, right? And let's be honest, there was a lot of people buying Palantir stock that didn't understand anything about what Palantir was doing, their business model. They didn't care about any of that. They just cared that it was hypey and it might be exciting and maybe we can make money there. They didn't understand anything they don't even understand like how to read an income statement, okay? Like those folks most of them didn't understand anything. So then, as things got worse and worse, you had an epic sellout of Palantir that dropped the stock price all the way down to the 6s at one point. The 6s. Incredible, right? Who would have thought it would have went under 10, but who would have thought it went under 7? That's just incredible, right? So this epic, absolutely epic sellout. Just unrelenting selling pressure coming from institutions. Even Cathie Wood was selling at one point, right? Retail sold in mass, and it didn't matter how much buying pressure there was for the stock. It just couldn't save it, right? And then you had who came in the stock was smart longs. Smart longs are what balanced out the stock and got the stock to kind of be in kind of that $7 to $9 range for almost a year straight, right? These smart longs come in, they built out positions, very nice sized positions. I'm one of those, right? O-Man would be one of those people. And there's quite a few people maybe in the private group that did activities like that and built out these really big positions, right? These are the smart longs. And the thing is with these folks that bought in here, like anybody that's still holding from this wave when it was a $20, $30 stock, clearly those people believed this was going to be a $50, $100 stock in the future. So those folks aren't going to be selling at any time soon, because if they wanted to sell, they had 2 years, they would have sold, right? In the new group of, smart longs that have really bought into the stock heavily over the past, let's call it year or so, we're not looking to sell anytime soon, Palantir. Like this is such a infant stage story here. Like it makes no sense whatsoever on a financial front for us to cash out of shares. So we're going to continue to hold this stock, which means ultimately, these buyers are going to have to keep competing with themselves to buy more and more shares. And that's a tough predicament to be in. Now, it was something interesting, right? A friend had texted me, he said, the ticker symbol PLTR was actually trending on Twitter. And I thought that was interesting. And I said, I wonder if Wall Street Bets, WSB, I wonder if Wall Street Bets cares about it or not. I haven't been on there in a while. And he said, I just checked, no Palantir chatter. And I said, thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Because that's what I was really scared about. I was like, when Palantir, when a stock's making a move like this, next thing you know, it ends up on Wall Street Bets. And once it gets popular on Wall Street Bets, that's the end of a stock price move. I swear to you. When it goes big on Wall Street Bets and everybody's talking about it, that's the end, okay? That is absolutely the end. Like, even if you look at those joke stocks of like GameStop and AMC and all those ones, right? As soon as they got huge on there, that was literally the top. And then right after that was just down and out. And I swear that works like that. I remember Tesla stock was not even a big Wall Street Bets stock for the longest time until it went to like $1 trillion market cap. Then all of a sudden everybody was talking about Tesla and posting all these Tesla memes on Wall Street Bets. And then right after that, that's when the stock price started to come down and down and down. I swear, like, you go big on Wall Street Bets, it's the kiss of death. I swear to you, okay? People talk about the Jim Cramer effect. It's nothing compared to the Wall Street Bets. When everybody's talking about on Wall Street Bets, that's the top, man. And so I'm like, thank goodness that like hardly anybody or no one's really talking about it on there. That's all I have to say about that. And maybe just those sorts of folks ran out of money. They might have just ran out. Because the thing with the WSB crowd, they were all long 2021, right? Margin out, call options, everything like that. Then 2022, they got wrecked. And then they tried to take whatever they had left, and then they flipped it into short positions and put option positions. And I saw this back when I'd go on WSB at the end of 2022 and in the beginning of this year, and I would look on there, and these people had all these put positions and short positions, and they just got obliterated. Like their accounts are now zero. Like they're done. They're done. And that's what happened on there, man. There's a crazy time period, right? Now, this was news that came out today. This is very important. Okay, not just in terms of what the deal means, but really in terms of what this means for Palantir much bigger. What's going on here, okay? So CNA and Palantir develop artificial intelligence model to optimize the product purchasing and inventory restocking process. Check this out. Palantir, a leading operating system in modern enterprise, and CNA, Modus, one of the largest retail chains in the fashion world, announced the development of an integrated management flow system. Using Palantir's Foundry platform, the software helps increase CNA's ability to reinforce assertiveness and speed of inventory through alerts regarding restocking products in their portfolio of best-selling pieces, optimizing the company's supply chain. We are the first Brazilian fashion retail brand to rely on this artificial intelligence technology. The flow developed allowed us to optimize and speed up the entire process, the purchase process, from the initial planning to sending the products to the stores. Among the significant gains, I'd highlight the increase of sales of products that were in stock and the reduction of unnecessary overstock. That's huge. Planning on business intelligence, that's phenomenal, okay? Over the course of 3 months, Palantir implemented the entire flow of ingestion, processing, and generating purchase recommendations for all the best-selling products, including new models. The Foundry software reconciled numerous variabilities that influence long-term inventory planning, sales seasonality, product performance variations, financial criteria, and other factors. Now, we formed a digital twin of the company's logistics chain, giving the planning teams not only a complete view of the purchasing process, but also the power to quickly simulate new rules and scenarios, and thus prevent extreme situations. This is what I always talk about in regards to Palantir, right? This is a company, the simplest way I could put it is it's going to help your company, your big company, make much better decisions. And those decisions could either make you a lot more money or save you a lot more money. And as long as they make you a lot more money or save you a lot more money than whatever you spend on Palantir, your ROI is phenomenal. And what we're hearing from a lot of these folks that are using Palantir's products is them saying these exact things. Like Palantir's been a game changer for us, right? It's having our business run much more efficiently, much better than it was if we didn't use Palantir. And so this is good stuff, folks, and it's just a matter of time before this catches on more and more and more and more. And the more stories get out there about this, the more it impacts, obviously, Palantir in a very positive way. So I'm thrilled about that. I think, the sky's the limit in regards to that, right? Now, next up here, this is important. So I was talking recently, I don't know if it was on this channel or Reaction channel, right, about trucking rates, right? And so something very interesting has happened here recently, okay? So one is trucking rates are obviously down massively year over year. So if you own any stock that has to transport physical products, it definitely wouldn't be a Palantir. But any company that has to transport physical products around the United States of America, certainly, guess what? Your margins are going to expand, your profitability is going to expand because you're going to have to spend a lot less on trucking. But something very interesting has happened very recently. And I don't know if this is more scary, as in bad news, or if this is more good, as in good news. And we kind of got to let a little time tick out here. But what has happened is if you look at the week-over-week numbers, almost across the board, they've seen quite an epic uptick here, folks, on a week-over-week basis. And so that's just something I'm looking at, and I'm like, let's keep an eye there, okay? Let's keep an eye there and see what happens. I don't know if that means all of a sudden magically the economy is getting in a better place, or I don't know, okay? All I know is that I was looking at those numbers, and I'm like, there's a lot of dramatic numbers on there. So just going to keep an eye on that, okay? Just keep an eye on that. Now, I was talking to you guys recently about if you own any companies that have to ship product overseas, how much costs have come down. This chart goes to show you. This is from January 2019 through April, right? And obviously May numbers will be out in a few weeks from now, so we'll get to see those. But basically, we're back under $2,000. Right? That matters in a significant way because that puts us back into territories we were back in normal time periods like, 2019 going into 2020. And so we're back in those normal ranges now at this point in time. So if you own any companies, one that I own specifically that comes to my mind is Corsair Gaming, that obviously makes all their products pretty much in Asia and then has to ship them either to Europe or has to ship them to the United States or all over the place, right? This is gonna be meaningful, and I mean very meaningful to your margins and your profitability going forward, okay, in a massive, massive epic way. So I love that. This is great news. And also, you know what else this is great news for? The disinflationary process. This is key. Like, when you see things like this, okay, I can tell you this is one of the main reasons that is way overlooked on why inflation went so out of dang control is the fact that just to transport anything around went to the moon in 2021 and going into 2022. And so when everybody did these contracts, they had to do them at these sky high rates. And guess what? If all of a sudden your product is 5 times more expensive to ship, right? Well, shoot, you better go up on price. And you're not going to be able to go up on price 5 times, I can tell you that, but you are going to be able to go up on price at least a certain extent, which when you're going up in price, obviously hurts the inflationary process, right? And it makes inflation go higher and higher. And so I believe this is just one of many reasons why you're going to continue to see inflation come down in a substantial way over this next 12 months, okay? Because the new contracts people are going to be signing are going to be a joke in terms of freight rates, whether you're talking overseas or you're talking trucking rates. Like, it's going to be night and day difference between what you were paying a year ago versus what you're going to be paying moving forward now at this point. And that's great news. Now, Truflation numbers are getting so dang close to a 2. This is incredible, folks. Incredible. Down to a 3.03% Truflation number. Does this mean a 3 is in the bag for CPI? The next CPI comes out, if I recall, on the 13th of June. Okay, so about a little over 2 weeks from now. Does this mean a 3 is in the bag? Almost. This pretty much means a 3 in terms of the government numbers is almost in the bag now at this point in time, folks, okay? Almost in the bag. Everybody was expecting a mid-4, for this next CPI report. And I'm looking and I'm like, it's looking more and more like we're going to get a 3 for this next CPI report. If we don't, I can tell you it's going to be such a low 4. And if it isn't, then the government numbers are broken, right? And you can make an argument that the government numbers are broken. Truflation was at 11, 12% back last summer. Government numbers only showed us at 9% or so, right? So in regards to this is the ideal scenario. The ideal scenario is playing out here in regards to this. And, the thing is, you can't just get 1 month and then the Fed's going to be like, we're going to lower rates. You need to get continued month after month after month after month of either 2s and 3s. At that point in time, then the Fed can take a victory lap and say, you know what, we've officially won against inflation, and but they don't want to do that too soon because they already lost so much credibility over time. They don't want to be in a situation where they say, you know what, we won, and then inflation ticks back higher, and all of a sudden it's at 4s and 5s or something again, or 6s, and all of a sudden they have to raise again. They've got to let this play out for several months. Once it plays out for several months, and you're getting in those 2s, then they'll take their victory lap and announce that they won against inflation, right? And who knows, inflation can always come back a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That can always be a situation. But in terms of taking a victory lap, they'll probably wait till at least fall time or winter time, in my opinion, to take that victory lap in regards to that. Here today, folks, I record you a free workshop. It's going to be pinned comment down there. Investing in 2023 and beyond with $100,000 or less in income, okay? So if you fit that criteria and you make $100K or less in income, definitely check out that free workshop. It's going to give you a lot of value in there. That is pinned comment down there for access to that, and I'll go ahead and email it over to you. I appreciate everybody joining me as always. Thanks so much, folks. Much love, and have a great day.